Today on the Star Trek Critic, remember me. Beverly is caught in her own reality, and since this reality is created in her mind, I won't be able to take away as many points as usual. Aww. However, I can take a point for reused footage, or else the moon is always in the same place, and 1 point since this design for a space station is terrible. If they are attacked, all the ships are trapped inside. The transporter got a new look after the Borg refit on McKinley Station. While the extra crosses before the doors open, I'd like to point out Bill Irwin was an Air Force veteran and holds a whopping 250 screen credits, including the Waltons, Somewhere in Time, and pretty much everything else, leaving us at the age of 96. While Beverly is thinking, were you actually the preacher in the Brady Brides? Dr. Quace gives very good advice. People you've known all your life are gone and you realize you didn't take the time to appreciate them when you still could. Beverly's like, you were really on the Brady Brides? Look close, you can see reflections of the production crew behind Wesley, so -1 point. If Geordi is so tense, why did he ride the world's slowest elevator? Geordi is freaking out trying to give Wesley a good old-fashioned military ass-whooping, but Wesley's like, we're still tethered in space dock, we aren't going anywhere. Look close, Beverly is not wearing her jacket. -1 point here. If Beverly actually got caught in a warp bubble, it would have killed her. No crew present, so -1 point. What if other crew members got caught in the bubble? They never looked for them. Beverly is in her own reality, not wearing the jacket. Dalen Quace is missing. 1 point lost for opening credits 6 minutes into the show. I love the way Worf looks at her on this one.
No Dr. Dalen Quace aboard the Enterprise.
You can tell this is a reality in Beverly's mind because all the men are actually listening to her for a change. But when did she take time to put on her jacket? She didn't have it before. Here is a technical glitch of the future. Maybe they should program those communicators to call sickbay if somebody's heart stops beating. It turns out Beverly does not know the left fielder.
The left fielder's name. Why? Because I want to know!
Picard wants to know about the left fielder too. Wesley randomly appears on the bridge instead of engineering, but this is Beverly's reality. Anything could happen. Riker says it was the first spaceman in the transporter room when Dr. Quace came on board. O'Brien says, no, that was my watch. The turbolift stops on the bridge. Worf is looking in there and thinking, yeah, they did the nasty in there. Riker's like, our secret's out now. Chief O'Brien is wearing officer rank, but I can't take a point because this is Beverly's reality. 2 doctors are now missing, and O'Brien is thinking, Dr. Crusher is nuts. 6 crew members are now missing. Dr. Crusher says their families don't remember them, and it turns out Picard doesn't remember them either. I can't even take a point for a single set of doors on the turbolift because this is Beverly's reality. Wesley admits he's been experimenting. But with what? Beverly remembers the warp bubble flash. Either Dr. Crusher knows something about warp bubbles, or her reality intertwines with real time so she can see what they're talking about. You never really find that one out. As usual, only the first baseman can save them. A shot of an empty set is such a simple way to show you that everybody is missing. Now they all think Dr. Crusher is nuts. Of course, if they say that, she'll call them sexist. Now she blames it on the second baseman. The correct way of saying this number is 230, but Data says 230.
But the entire ship's complement is 230.
I can't take a point though, because this is Beverly's alternate reality. Beverly orders Earl Grey tea. Then she says we need to go back to Starbase 133. Picard agrees, but I think he just wants to drop her off in the loony bin. 1 point lost for paper blowing through sickbay. The bubble is in engineering, which should mean if she goes through now, she would end up in engineering. It's her reality saying that she's in sickbay. The stars are not moving, but now they are, so -1 point. They have been scouring the ship for what only Beverly has seen. They're going to send her a bill for all that labor soon. Beverly says she didn't just see it, she felt it. That's disgusting. Data misspeaks numbers again. The android should know it is 114, but he says 114.
There are 114 people.
Beverly wants to know why all the empty space, and then that gives Data the opportunity to mansplain. And now the big guy who never smiles is missing. Aww. I would take a point for Deanna in a cat suit, but I guess that's what Beverly wanted to see in her reality. Deanna says they're going to Dorinia 4, but they're dropping off Galen Quace at Kinda 2, so they might be making more stops along the way too. These 2 scenes are almost exactly alike. Wesley! Wesley calls his mother the third baseman. Wesley mentions Kaczynski and the Traveler. I'm pretty sure that Dr. Crusher can sense what's going on in the regular reality. I just noticed the seat in Ops is all one piece. And this door closes really slow. This is a polite way of Picard saying he's sick of her shit. Picard tells Beverly to go to sickbay. He gets the best lines in this show.
We've never needed a crew before.
Here is Picard maneuver number 1. Here is a glitch in Star Trek technology. If the communicator can track Picard's vital signs, it should warn sickbay if he died. Picard maneuver number 2. This Picard has a slight fever. Beverly finally gets the nerve to tell Jean-Luc that she wants to do the nasty with them, but then he disappears. Beverly is on the ship alone. You know what she's gonna do next. Rumor is Gates McFadden was pregnant when she was doing these stunts, starting a history of Trek producers tossing around expectant mothers. This is what was really going on with the vortex.
Crossover, children! All are welcome! Go into the light!
But Beverly wouldn't go into the light, and now she's lost forever. Aww. However, at the last minute, in typical Star Trek format, somebody comes to save the day. According to the stardate, 8 hours have passed. That's about right. The Traveler's cryptic answer is just so Riker can say his favorite line.
What the hell does that mean?
This gives the Traveler a chance to call the human race narrow-minded. And since the Traveler can see through time and space, it would be possible for him to hear Wesley's call for help. There is a little catch with this question because there are now 6 Enterprises at her time period, but this one was before Starfleet, so the computer is still correct. Beverly catches the computer in a gotcha moment, so it's time for the gotcha dancers.
Gotcha! Gotcha, get away with ya. Gotcha.
The next point is lost for a visible boom mic in the reflection. Beverly takes command. Shout out to the Traveler for being the perfect mentor for Wesley's talents. The computer voice also gets the numbers wrong by saying 705, not 705.
705 meters in diameter.
Again, since this is Beverly's reality and not the real world, I can't take a point. Wesley says the second baseman is wrong, but I will take a point for more reused footage because that is Earth's moon. That is a really cheap chair. Beverly finally realizes it's not us, it's her. These graphics have continuity errors, but since it's her reality, again, I can't take a point. Geordi's calculations are wrong, so minus 1 point. The ship is not 705 meters long, but if it was, and contracted at 15 meters per second, she would have 47 seconds, the magic number. The Traveler sings his favorite Frozen song to Wesley. Then he teaches Wesley to be one with the Force. Does this qualify as a Picard maneuver? I'm going to say no. Beverly figured it out without the Traveler's help. She's going to rub that in the men's noses for years. Some nice comic relief from the computer, and 300 years in the future, they will still be watching The Wizard of Oz. According to that light, the turbo lift is going up, which is impossible, so minus 1 point. Picard is thinking, I wonder if I can stick my hands through them. This is definitely stage running for the camera. In real life, you need to run like hell and not look back. And in her reality, the engineering hallways are curved like in the saucer section. There is the vortex. The Traveler's alter ego calls for her.
Peace and serenity in the light. Go into the light.
1 point lost here. Beverly left without her jacket, so she come back without her jacket. Wesley says, I'm done. Jean-Luc and Beverly reunite and think, you know, maybe we should do the nasty right now before you disappear again. Wesley proves to the world he has become a man. Not because of combining space and time and thought and bringing his mother back from an alternate reality, but for performing his first Picard maneuver. Eric Maniak will be back one more time in the 7th season, and for being in 3 episodes, he proudly shows off his action figure. Remember Me, a show for Dr. Crusher, which also shows off Wesley's scientific talents, gets a score of 87 because I couldn't take away any more points because of the alternate reality. Thanks for viewing. Be sure to leave comments below, click that like button, the share button, the subscribe button, and I'll see you again next week.
The big guy who never smiles? The Klingon!